All right, this video is for Module 12 on unemployment. So first of all, unemployment. We have to talk about how we calculate the unemployment rate. Now, we talked about it briefly before when we talked about the business cycle, but I just want to remind you of how we do this. So first of all, the unemployment rate is the number of unemployed divided by the labor force. Remember, the number of unemployed, you're looking for people that are actively seeking a job. They have to actively be looking for a job to be considered unemployed. And the labor force, remember, is going to be the number of employed people plus the number of unemployed people. So you got to keep in mind that we're taking the number of unemployed divided by the number of employed plus the number of unemployed. That will give you your unemployment rate. All right, now the other part that comes up that's new in Module 12 is the labor force participation rate. So the labor force participation rate is looking at the number in the labor force, so those people that are both unemployed and employed, and dividing it by the population over the age of 16. Okay, so all of these people. So what does this tell us? Well, this tells us the amount of people that are actually out there and willing and able to work, whether they are employed or unemployed. Now, keep in mind that this labor force participation rate is looking at those people that are willing and able to work, but it still discounts those people that have given up looking for work because they can't find a job. So keep that in mind. The other part of this is the population over 16. It also takes out, obviously, the retirees, your stay-at-home mom, that kind of a thing. All right, so the other part that I want to talk about is who counts as determining unemployment. First of all, you have to be over 16 and actively seeking a job, full-time job. So, for example, right now, if you are looking for a job right now, do you count as unemployed? No, the answer is not, because you're not looking for a full-time job, unless you're planning on quitting school. So keep that in mind. It has to be over 16 and a full-time job. Now, marginally attached workers. Marginally attached workers are those people that have looked for a job recently, but they're not looking now. They don't count. They don't count as being unemployed anymore. They're not even part of the labor force anymore. So now they're just part of the general population. So I love this cartoon. It says, there just aren't any jobs out there. I give up. And the guy says, then congratulations, you are no longer officially unemployed. You're not even part of the labor force if you give up. Now, within marginally attached workers, you can also have discouraged workers. And so remember, discouraged workers are those people that are looking for a job, but they give up because there's a lack of jobs. So marginally attached workers is just the broad category saying that they've looked for a job recently, but they're not currently looking. Discouraged workers are a subcategory that's basically saying that they're not looking because there's a lack of jobs out there. Typically, discouraged workers happen when there's a recession. Underemployed workers do count as employed, so they do count. The interesting part about underemployed is we oftentimes see this. I found this picture. This one's lovely. Would you like to graduate to a supersize? Obviously, a lovely picture of someone who did some hard work in education and earned a degree, but can't find a job in her field, and so as a result, she's stuck working at a fast food restaurant. That is definitely underemployed. So you are working a part-time job when you would really like a full-time job. They do count as employed. Okay, so a quick summary. We have the civilian population of 16 years of age and older, and then underneath that we have those people that are in the labor force, which is included the employed and unemployed, and then those people that are not in the labor force. So those are going to be our retirees, our discouraged workers, our stay-at-home parents, whatever. Now, underneath the labor force, we do have categories of employed, so those people that do have jobs, and those that are unemployed. So those people that are actively looking for a job but can't find one. And then from that, we can determine the unemployment rate. So that's the ratio of unemployed to the labor force. So hopefully that's a nice graphical summary for you. All right, so Here's a question for you. Try this. So use this information to be able to answer these questions. If the population of age 16 and over is 12 million, the labor force is 6 million, the number of people working part-time is 2 million, and the number of people working full-time is 3 million. Determine for me what is the labor force participation rate, how many workers are unemployed, and what is the unemployment rate. Pause this to figure that out, and then replay the video to see if you got the correct answers. All right, hopefully you gave it a shot, so let's see how you did. So here are our answers. So labor force participation rate, you would take the 6 million divided by 12 million, which is 50%. The how many people are unemployed, if the labor force is 6 million, there's 2 million that are part-time, there's 3 million that are full-time. Remember, part-time does count as employed, so 2 plus 3 will give you 5, so 6 minus 5 will give you 1 million, because remember, the labor force is made up of those that have jobs, part-time and full-time, plus the unemployed. So if 5 million have jobs, there's 6 million in labor force. 6 minus 5 will give you 1 million. Lastly, what is the unemployment rate? So now that you have the number of unemployed, you take that 1 million divided by the labor force. So 1 divided by 6 will give you, and multiplied by 100, will give you 16.7% unemployment, which, by the way, is relatively high. All right, hopefully that helped. Let me know if you have any questions.